All of the competencies we define are basically about being a well-educated person. I mean, we think there's a real value to being a university graduate. There's, should be a reason for that pay differential what everybody talks about, or that, job preference, differential everybody talks about. It's just good to be a thinker, a reader, an active person, an engaged mind in the world. You have a better life in some ways by being an interesting person. But also, you're a better citizen. So for us, that citizenship means being engaged in a democracy, means making decisions and communicating those. And that means having judgments. So I should be able to look at that chart from something from the economy, or climate change claims, or what's going to happen to this crime rate if we do X policy, and think about costs and benefits and trends, and whether there's really a hidden reason behind it all. And these hit lots of hot button issues for us, right? We're innately interdisciplinary. We use a little anthropology, we use little cultural things, we use, visual analysis. All of those come together. Well, why not have one of those also be that I know about numbers and patterns and trends? What we like to think our history majors get is a sense of making judgments about the world. So this is why we often tell our students, you don't go looking for your quantitative competency just by taking, Math 114 or 105 or something. Those are important, like something like, math and applications or finance math. But also, you might take an anthropology class that teaches you about quantitative archaeological evidence, or a sociology class that teaches you about patterns of populations and demographics. So a lot of it's about blending the power of the people's ideas and actions and social actions against the power of things we can measure more quantitatively, like economics or populations. You're making decisions all the time, and a lot of those decisions will be around the kind of scientific and technical issues that we have with us today. How should you react to claims about health rates with GMO foods? Because people will be asking you every day at the grocery store by what you buy or don't buy. And then, there'll even be referenda and decisions made in legislatures. So to keep up with some of these technical issues, you need to know how they talk about the numbers and those sorts of judgments and patterns. It seems like the first thing to do to think really well about your own competency as a student, because most students want to come out and say, I have these, and have that sense, is to look beyond the course selection and filling in the degree audit. I mean, we do this in advising a lot, which is the competencies match in some ways to the general ed program, but don't think, I took 2 math classes, I've checked that off, I'm done. Think about how the questions I'm interested in require some thinking about quantitative patterns. So one way is to think about your education is, where can I get the things I'm interested in that start to cross-connect? If I'm really interested in civil rights, maybe I should take a political science course that talks about the quantitative trends of voting and patterns in neighborhoods, and